Whoa, I was just holding the remote, wiped my eye, and it went on. I heard a thing, so might as well go with it, right? So today, did I say hello, YouTube? Beanie from the bedroom here. See, I told you I'm forgetting a lot of stuff. Today, I am demoing my Marshall JVM 410C. It's a 212 combo, and what I have going on is it's got 4 channels, independent channels, with 3 channels in each. Excuse me, pardon me, beg your pardon. And what that does is, for example, I'm on the first channel, which I use every channel as overdrive because it's just purely an overdrive amp. I have it stacked with my Nuex, or Nux, however you want to call it, Golden Horses, because you know I stack that with everything that I'm playing with, distortion or dirty or whatever. So this is it with it. This is it without it. Doesn't break up that much, I guess. No, it's not that bad. It's in the middle, so you have 1, 2, and 3 levels for each channel. This is the middle channel. The other one goes to red, and I like this one in the middle of the two, because I thought it would break up a lot more. But again, I fine tune all my channels with my pedal on because I never play without my pedal. So there we go. So that's what I do there. Oh, by the way, I am using my Larry Carlton, the best of the best. If you want to spend up to $500 for one of the greatest LP guitars that's going out there. I call this my Larry Carlton Larry Paul guitar. Yeah. So it's just, I'm grabbing this thing every day. I used to grab the Bad Cats every day. I'm grabbing this one. Then I'm grabbing the Harley Benton 550 Part 2 with those pickups. So I've used this one because let's just use the greatest, a great, let's just say a really good, great LP on a Marshall, because LPs and Marshalls go together like peanut butter and jelly. And these pickups, so only by judging my ear, I know they've been voiced from what Larry Carlton wanted, and they're very articulated. But this one sounds like a 68 pickup, and this one sounds like a 57. And I know that because I had a 68 and a 57 reissue, custom shop guitars, and they sound identical to that. So that's how good they are. So that's the first channel, and I have the gain on that at 1 o'clock. I don't know the number. I'm just looking at where the line is on the knob at this point. Tone is at 12. Mid is at 1 o'clock, and bass is at, sorry, I had that backwards. Gain is at 11 o'clock. There we go. Yeah, that's why I use a digital watch, because I even have a hard time being dyslexic reading an analog watch or a regular watch with the numbers on it, because I do that backwards. So you see what I mean? So let's start all over again. Gain is at 11 o'clock. Treble is at 12 o'clock. Mid is at 11 o'clock, and bass is at 1 o'clock. So that's that sound right there. The next channel is what they call well, there's overdrive 1 and overdrive 2, I think, or crunch. I think that is, yep, that's crunch. So that's the crunch channel. The other two are overdrive 1 and overdrive 2. Now I may have to look again in about 5 minutes, because I'll probably forget that as well. So that one I leave in the third red light. That's the it's equivalent to a 68 plexi Marshall, and that sounds like this. I have a friend of mine, someone that I know that's friends with Ted Nugent, so I don't want to rip off his song, but that's what was in my head as I played it. Again, that's how I play stuff. So I don't want him to see the video and go, "Hey, you do a lot of Ted Nugent stuff." We happen to share the same birthday, isn't that cool? But in any case, that's the second one, and that one, the overdrive, or the gain, is at 3 o'clock. Probably the most gain I use on a distorted amp. And then I have the tone is at 11 o'clock, mid is at 11 o'clock, and bass is almost 2 o'clock. And that's that one. So yeah, you could hear it. Low. Sorry, the D string is out. Ever so slightly, there we go. That's funny, because this has locking tuners, and I've been picking this up every day. My go-to guitars is my Prince Telly, this one, and Holly Benton. And every time I check the tuning, and of course today I didn't check the tuning like I do. As soon as I pick up a guitar, I check the tuning. When I'm done playing it, I check the tuning again, and then I hang it up back on the wall again. This one has been good. I check it all week. Today I don't check it, and the D string's out. But I was really going to town yesterday. Yesterday I wasn't in a good mood, and I don't like to, it's like, don't drive angry, don't play angry, and you might break something or smash a guitar. And I was really like I'm having a bad day, and you know what? You're gonna feel that pain. So that's why the D string was out. In any case, this is without the overdrive. Still sounds good with it. See, a little bit more snot, a little bit more punch. Gung Pao chicken. Yeah. And the sweet spot on the Golden Horses is at 3 o'clock. It's and I don't want to sound like Eric Johnson, but the sweet spot is at 3 o'clock, and it's just a little bit less than 3 o'clock. If you look at the 3 o'clock, it's almost a little bit shy of hitting right on 3 o'clock. It's like, that's what my ear tells me is the perfect spot. If I go too much, no. Beanie, bring it back a little bit. Bring it back to 2. Oh no, Beanie, you need some more. So yeah, that's me. Now let's go on to the channel 3. I use 2 or 3 all the time. I use 2 a lot of times at a low volume, and I don't have reverb on it, because reverb to me drains the overdrive tone. So you either, if you have something in the middle, you don't want, as far as my opinion goes, you don't want, I don't want, let's put it that way, reverb. On a cleaner channel, reverb is great. On a super heavy dirty channel, which the last channel is, reverb is fine. Something in that middle gain range, to me, I don't like it. It kind of, it's a tone drain killer. Yeah. So this is the third. This is the one that I like the most. This is one that I rock out with all the time, basically. So that's it. Without it, see how it just thickens it up? It's what I call my Crunchberry effect. I grew up with Captain Crunch, and when Captain Crunch was around, I thought that was the greatest cereal in the world. And then all of a sudden they came up with Captain Crunch Berries, and I was like, oh, my world has changed. So anything that's better than something that was originally before, I call it the Crunchberry effect. So that's the Crunchberry effect. Now let's go right to, I'm going to just go from one to the other just to show you. This is my third channel. And sorry, again, that one is on, it looks like between 9 and 10 o'clock is the gain. The tone is at, looks like 1 o'clock. The mid is between 1 and 12. Sorry, 11. Did I say that before? So it's between 11 and 12. My bass is at 2. So I'm going to go from that to the dirtiest of all channels. So that's it, that, and I've got some delay going without the pedal. So you kind of thins it out a little bit. I would probably have to put some more gain on it, but I don't like gain, a whole lot of gain. I don't like a whole lot of distortion. I don't want my Marshall amp sounding like a metal amp. I want it sounding like a the 70s. Crunchy, nice Marshall amps from the 70s, before the 80s came out and everything pretty much sounded like a Mason Boogie. But yeah, that overdrive is what it looks like is almost 10 o'clock, and again it's 11 o'clock on the tone, almost between 11 and 12 on the mid, and again 2 o'clock on the bass. So that's with it. I mean, see why you don't like that? Couldn't keep going with that because my shoulder is killing me. So that's that. That's how that whole thing works. That's how I like to keep it. And that one, let me punch on the reverb. few minutes later. All right. Why isn't that going on? There we go. I use the corner of my sneaker, and sometimes I don't hit it on the button. So what I do is I think that the cord is out, like I pulled the cord out on either end. And it's just me not knowing how to operate a football. That's what the reverb on. You hear it? So that's what the reverb on. I'll just keep it on because that's probably the only time it sounds good on a distorted, heavily distorted channel. So that's about it. I'm trying to, oh man. Sorry, my eyes are sensitive to the light. I have what they call night vision. I see better at night. I'm supposed to wear prescription sunglasses since I was a kid because the light is too much on the eyes, man. You know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I started. I mentioned Gary Moore the other day, but I didn't want to get into a long, drawn-out story. But I had someone ask me about it anyway, so I just figured I conclude on that. That's a picture of Gary Moore at a club, and there's the actual pic in the photo that he was using taped to the photo. I've known Gary Moore since the 90s, before he was like, no, before that, man, now that I think about it, I've known him since the 80s, since I think 85. I've been aware of Gary Moore before everyone jumped on the Gary Moore bandwagon, going, man, you hear this guy? Yeah, I know all about him. He's fantastic. Started with Thin Lizzy and did a solo career, and he's just an amazing, awesome guitar player. He's a lefty that plays righty. Now he's like the third guy that I know that does that. That in itself is amazing. So we would correspond back and forth via email, and then he passed away, and Bonamassa was on Facebook. I'm friends with Bonamassa because I met him and his dad, and my buddy that's, again, I don't know if he wants me to mention his name, but he's a well-known musician. He's got a band, and he's got his own thing going on, and because I'm friends with him, I become friends with other musicians because they see that him and I are friends, and we communicate back and forth. And they see me with my picture doesn't have a guitar like a lot of guys do. They'll just figure, oh, this guy's pretty cool. So that's how I get to, communicate back and forth with Gary Hoey and the guy from Night Ranger, Jeff Watson. I was friends with him for a long time. He asked me to join his channel, just like Bonamassa, and he would send me videos. We would do instant messaging back and forth, and in one breath he's sending me a video of him feeding a buck, full-grown deer with I don't know how many points on, out of his hand in his backyard. And then he's sending me one of a slaughterhouse. I mean, from beginning to end, you see the giant cow going in, cut up, stripped down, and I almost lost it. A lot of times sometimes I'll be going through it. My daughter would be sitting next to me, and I don't want her seeing something like that. So I kind of unfriended him, but we still kept in contact with the instant messaging. And same thing with Bonamassa. Bonamassa, when Gary Moore passed away, we were going back and forth on that, and he sent me those little red, I had it in one video, these stupid things. to keep your guitar strap from falling off. And he sent me his entire library of songs. I've got every CD that he's ever done. And then, you know, he asked me, can I subscribe to his YouTube channel, start, you know, get something going. And I had my channel before this, but it wasn't what I'm doing now. It was just, like I said, it was just songs that I didn't want to forget, or to try to put it out there that someone was interested. And I said to him, hey, you know, he commented on one of my songs that I wrote. He said, you know, awesome job. And I'm like, well, why don't you use one of my songs in your next album, your next CD? You know, just bragging rights would be satisfied. I'd be satisfied with that. You know, satisfactory is what I should say. You know, like just to go and say, yeah, you know, that song, I wrote that song, but he didn't. He declined, and you know, I must have been grouchy that day, and I unfriended him. So that was it. But yeah, that's how that's why the Gary Moore picture is up there, and that's how that I parlayed that into the Joe Bonamassa. And then did I just drop that name? Yeah, Jeff Watson from Night Ranger. I'm more of a Brad Gillis guy because he was a Strat man, and I liked his style. Jeff Watson was, in, you know, every sense of the word, another monster player, and he did that whole thing with, like, you know, 8 fingers, you know what I mean? If I play Hot for Teacher from Van Halen, I gotta lay the guitar on my lap and play it like a piano. But he was doing that, and so he's another great player. I don't think he's playing with the band anymore, live, going out and doing shows. But so yeah, that's whole thing. I forgot what I lost my train of thought, so I'm gonna end it at that. You know, tell me what you think. If you like the Marshall, what channel you like the best. I want to send a thank you out to Cal B for answering the question of the records. I didn't realize there was, I think he gave me 4 different record sizes, but I believe he's in Canada. I'm not really sure if it's him or Two Bike Mike. I go back and forth with him as well, and I think one of the two, if not both of them, are in Canada, and that's, you know, they're telling me about they can't get a hold of guitars off of Amazon because they're in Canada. They don't sell what I see here, and then they're buying stuff from Tolman's out of there. Oh, I got one more question. I've been posting this question up a lot on a lot of videos. If anyone has ever bought a guitar from Tolman's, if you could leave in the comments if you used a debit card or a credit card. I've always used my credit card. Because I've got a certain limit on that. I'm afraid to use my debit card because I don't want to the next day look at my bank statement and then all of a sudden it's wiped out. So I'm a little apprehensive about that. But if someone's used their debit card to buy anything from Tolman's, I'd appreciate it if you left the comment and let me know, because you know, it says it's a secure site, and every time I go on and it asks me for my email, and it says, oh, you've been here before, welcome back. My credit card information is not there. It's not locked in. So that's a good thing. So, but I still want to know. That's the question that needs an answer. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day and a better tomorrow.